Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Meet Brooke George. Brooke met a guy online on Facebook, and this guy was from Dubai. He flew her into Dubai. Brooke described it as the time of her life on social media. She returns home only to go back chasing the soft life. The guy promised her the world. But this time, the trip don't go so well. Things go awry. Dude becomes violent, according to her. He attacks her. Brooke goes for a butcher knife, stabs him up. The guy dies. Now, Brooke is facing the firing squad. Yeah, like she could be put to death by a firing squad. She is facing the death penalty for killing the guy. See, this is a cautionary tale, fam. The internet has made it way too easy for people to make connections to strangers. I get it, fam. You want to live your life. You want to live, you want to be free. You can't be paranoid. I know people that say, well, I'm not going to not enjoy my life because I'm afraid. Look, fam, this is what I subscribe to. Safety first. Enjoy life. Go enjoy yourself. Have a ball. But don't be a fool. Don't think to yourself, don't roll the dice. And if you want to roll the dice, go ahead and roll the dice. Something probably going to happen to you bad. Go and roll the dice. Ain't nothing nobody can do to help you. All I'm trying to do is tell you that be safe first. Like, if you really care about yourself, because everybody that talk like that say, well, I'm not going to not live, my life because I'm afraid of that. If you really love your life like you say you do, you would protect your life. You would safeguard your life, right? So why not take some precautions? If not for you, I would say do it for family, the people that love you. But I think a lot of times people that move like that, their life to them is the absolute most important thing. So they don't consider other people, the pain that the loss of their life could cause other people. They don't consider that type of thing. But here's the deal. You should. Like, if you really care about yourself especially, I say safety first. It's already hard enough trying to meet people through the traditional channels, right? Before the internet, it was hard to trust people already. You couldn't really know a person until you started being around a person and living with a person. The traditional way was you meet somebody at a club, you meet them at a party, you meet them maybe at church, you meet them at a friend's house, you get introduced, you go on a double date, stuff like that, the regular stuff. And this is when you're making a connection through a friend, and oftentimes you're in the same social circles. Well, now, maybe, if you go all the way back, you met this person in high school or whatever, you met the person in college, but now you met the person on the job, right? But now with the internet, you're meeting people all over the world who you know nothing about. At least if you meet the person on the job, at the very least, that's Mike Davis, and he works at this company, and this is what he really looks like. This is the car that he drives. At least you know that part, right? Well, now with this internet, a person can just totally create something. They can just wake up one day and say, hey, this is who I am. And for all you know, that's who they are. That person can be a serial killer. It happens all the time. How many times have we seen these type of stories where women end up getting the short end of the stick and end up dismembered, right? This happens all the time. You can look it up right now. All kinds of cases out there where women have met men online and ended up meeting their demise. Now, this is one of the few cases where a man met his demise with a woman that he barely even knew. After just two trips to Dubai, the second time, she ends up killing this guy, allegedly because he attacked her. Chasing the soft life. I get it, fam. This dating thing is hard, man. Trying to find somebody that works with you is hard. Trying to find somebody that you have these commonalities with is hard. Yeah, trying to find somebody you trust is hard. Trying to find somebody that you trust, that you have these things in common with, and that you will be loyal to, who's loyal to you, and they got money, that's even harder. So when somebody sell it to you, you'll buy it quicker, right? Typically. Now, this woman, Brooke, is from the UK. She's from London. Here's a story. According to, what is that? That is the Post, New York Post. A young influencer from England could be facing the death penalty in the United Arab Emirates after she was charged with the murder of her boyfriend. Brooke George, 23, reportedly met 26-year-old British expat online who had been living and working in Dubai. The woman from Kent had made one prior trip to Dubai, which she referred to as the time of my life to friends and family. London-based advocacy group Detained in Dubai assists foreigners in legal trouble within the UAE and is calling for the woman to be released on bail and investigated fairly. The organization states that George was wrapped up in the joy of the experience and had brushed aside concerns she felt during her first trip, which had included a bikini-clad professional photo shoot. In her second trip, the influencer allegedly stabbed a man to death. Detained in Dubai alleges she reached for a kitchen knife in self-defense during an attack at the hands of her boyfriend. A bruised and battered Brooke was arrested in the early hours of the 22nd of June 2026 and has been charged with the murder despite the circumstances having not been thoroughly investigated. A statement by Detained in Dubai reads, and we could stop right there. But there's Brooke, 23 years old and facing an execution by firing squad. Yeah. And let me tell you something, family. They will kill you. They will kill you. Now, I've heard a number of people talk about Dubai negatively, saying, oh, I would never go there. They don't respect women. Da, da, da. That's a lie. That's a lie. I've been there many, many times. I've been to Dubai many, many times. And I never had any issues in Dubai, not once. The thing is, fam, is that when you go to these different countries, you just have to adhere to their customs. You know what I'm saying? You have to adhere to their culture. You can't go to another country and take your country's policies and laws and rules and the things that's acceptable in your country, because more than likely those things are not acceptable in other countries. The only thing, I think, the only universal law is respect. Respect is a universal law. No matter what country you go into, you have to have basic respect. And if you have that, you'll be all right. But if you go to these different countries with that attitude and thinking you're going to get a certain amount of latitude from the law, you're sadly mistaken. You can end up facing the death penalty. You can end up facing the death penalty for defacing a picture, stealing a rock. Yeah, like just taking a rock from what they might consider to be holy ground. You going to visit, you just doing the tourist thing, and you pick up a rock, put it in your bag, man, you can be facing 20 years. They might kill you. So you got to know the law when you go into these different countries. Women, a lot of y'all, if you don't know, I'm telling you right now, do not go to Dubai looking for a quick come up. You might find yourself being sex trafficked. You might, and warn them little girls up underneath you. Warn them. I know some of y'all don't like talking to these little girls because y'all think, y'all saying to yourself, they think they know everything. They won't listen. If you love them, at least have the conversation. At least tell them, warn them. Be careful about going out there looking for a quick lick. Yeah, those dudes got money. But one thing that their money buys them, that money oftentimes will not buy you in the United States, is freedom. I'm talking about when you kill. They will kill you out there. If they got money and they kill you, you just dead. Ain't nobody going to jail. Ain't nobody going to jail. In the U.S., you might stand a chance. It might be, in the U.S., it might be 50-50. You might go to jail. You might not go to jail. But over there, you're going to jail. And like I say, they might kill you. I've been to Dubai many, many times. I've never seen any overt abuse from men, aimed at women, at least publicly. I haven't been in people's homes and stuff like that. Anytime I've been to Dubai, I've always been in a hotel, and I've always went to the restaurants and attractions, but never anybody's home in Dubai, right? But I visited there many, many times, and I just haven't seen any overt public displays of abuse from men aimed at women. But I tell you what, y'all women better be careful. See, that money, I just don't understand how money is that damn important, where people would just jump on a plane and just go just because they want to be able to experience flying on a private jet, or, eating at a fancy restaurant, or wearing fancy clothes. That's just stuff. And when you die, even if they stuff your stuff inside of your coffin, you still can't take it with you. No more talk.